Shalom, giving all praise to Yahweh Shemel Shabbat Shem Kwadash. Shalom to the hopefully elect out there. I'm going to entitle this video Babylon the Great, or the daughter of Babylon is the U.S. So I was watching, before I sort of came across this video, I was going through Revelation 17, the first, really the 4 verses. I was focusing on the word fornication because I'm not going to make this long. There's a spirit jump on me. I was dealing with the word fornication. I believe that's the 4th verse. It's in a couple of verses, in the first 4 verses. Fornication comes up a couple of times, but I believe it's the 4th verse, and I may even go to it and read it again. You come across the word fornication, then you come across the word in the 4th verse, if I'm not mistaken, and I'll probably go to it. You come across the word, matter of fact, I'm going to go to it. Let me come back over here. Revelation 17. Make no mistake, Babylon the Great, or the daughter of Babylon, is the U.S. This place, this geological place, 5,000 miles square, that's the place called Babylon the Great. You got some people that are saying it's Vatican City. The blue letter tell you it's Rome. It's Rome itself. They have right. It is Rome, but it's the rebirth of Rome coming back when you go to Revelation 13. It's the rebirth of Rome. So if you say it like that, you're saying it right. But if you're saying it's Rome from the ancient world, then you're wrong. Some of these so-called scholars, they say that it's talking about Jerusalem, like in Revelation chapter 11, spiritually Sodom and Egypt. They say that that's talking about Jerusalem, and the reason why they say it, because it says where also our Lord was crucified. It's not talking about Jerusalem. It's not talking about ancient Sodom. It's not talking about ancient Egypt. It's not talking about Babylon. We're talking about 2,600 years ago, or 600, about approximately 600 years before the birth of our Lord. And see, we're here to warn you, as it says in Ezekiel, the 3rd chapter, I believe it's the 18th verse, but it's all throughout Ezekiel. It's also in Ezekiel, the 30. There's in a couple of places but the main place starts at Ezekiel chapter 3, and I believe it's 18, to warn them. It says if Israel dies and we didn't warn them, then the blood is on our hand. They're going to die and we're going to die because the blood is on our hand. So we have to be dealt with by the Most High for that. But if we tell them that what's coming and to avoid it and to repent and to get right, and this is open for the elect, and they don't repent, they don't get right, and you told them, then they're going to die, and the blood is not going to be on your hands, so you're not going to be punished, destroyed, or die. One of the main subjects that we deal with is an MOTB, and we got a back and forth with the IUIC, the leadership of the IUIC, and they're dead wrong. They're wrong. They're dead wrong. They're wrong about the new moon being the full moon. They're wrong about the Sabbath, Friday, sundown, the Saturday, sundown, which most of the One Westers and other Israelite groups, they teach them Friday, sundown, and Saturday, sundown. And basically, they all got it because of the JJs. So we teach that the new moon is based upon on the full moon, and the full moon is when the moon is dark, so you can understand. So we going back and forth, with the IUIC mainly on that. It was a big thing with talking like 4 months ago with the Wi-Fi. They came up against us, and they said they were going to do a video. We watched the video, went on the video, and the video was 5 hours long, and around 4 hours and change in. Then they started talking about it, how it's not what we say it is, but they didn't say what it was because they knew we was gonna, watch him and question him. And we're not gonna do something as stupid as teach something that we going off on. We make it our business to study the scriptures and go through the scriptures and fast and pray and dedicate ourselves to these scriptures. So when we teach them, scripture says, going back to Ezekiel, the third chapter, one of my favorite chapters, eat this roll and go out and teach the children of Israel. Eat it, meaning digest it. It was also said to John on the Isle of Patmos, said the same thing that was said to Ezekiel. So when we digest this roll, even our teachers that taught us, we tell you that our teachers went off on this particular thing, they went off on that thing, and they went off something else. We don't care what people say. Well, wait a minute, the 7 said this. Well, the 7 went off on this and he went off on that. They were on point about a lot of things, but they were off on a few things. So us being sincere men of the Most High, we got to say that, Ariat broke it down wrong, or the 7 broke it down wrong. So you have certain groups when it comes to Babylon the Great. They say it's the Vatican City, or they say it's, like I said, Jerusalem, or they say it's ancient Egypt, or they say it's, they say it's a lot of different things, but it's the U.S. It's definitely the U.S. So what I was getting in, I did this previously about a week ago. I went into the word fornication because General Nathaniel Alaga, and now he's General Nathaniel Alaga, used to be the bishop. He said that further proof that the MOTB is what they say it is, not what we say it is. And he went to Revelation 17 about the woman in the cup. Cup has nothing to do with the charagma. The cup has nothing to do with the mark. When you look up the cup, what's in the cup is abomination and filthiness of her fornication. Fornication means adultery. So when Israelites, and I'm using Israel, when they follow the American ways, they're committing spiritual adultery against the Most High. That's why the Lord told us to go out there and warn them and tell them, the churches are hooked up with America. So we go after them churches. We say the churches don't have the truth because they part of the American. The black church is based upon the teachings that the slave master gave you, their form of Christianity, which I call plantation Christianity. That's all these great black churches. They had their roots in the slave man giving you their brand of Christianity. So that's why we come against you. That's why the IUIC did a church blitz. And guess what? They didn't get one person out of any of those churches. All the churches that they hit, they must have hit 1,000 churches. They didn't get not one. They didn't get one. Now we know that because they would have had the guy, okay, well, we got 10 people that left that particular Baptist church, and they're with us now. They're wearing it purple, and here they are, give a hand clap. Most High brought them out of that darkness, being plucked out of the fire, as the precepts say. So they would have said that, right? When they showcase the the people that was a part of a particular black church, or 10 people or 20 people or 100 people, or 1,000 people. We got 1,000 people that all that through that church blitz, 1,000 people came out, or 10,000, whatever the case may be. They didn't get one person to come out that church because they wasn't supposed to go. They didn't have no business going to the church anyway. Now you can go in front of a church and teach them, and then if you see them they don't get it, then you move on. It says after the what is it? The first and second admonition, reject, shake the dust off your feet. I can go on and on. So you give it to them. You see that they can't get it. You might try another avenue. You see that they can't get it. You're thinking this shit ain't gonna work. You may even do it a third time. Nothing happens. Then you say, okay, we out of here. Let's go pack the shit up, and shake the dust. You have to do that. Shake the dust off, off of your garment, off your feet. Because in the ancient world, roads, they didn't have paved roads like they do now. They had dust. When you went on a road, there was an uneven road. There was dusty roads, man. So anyway, so this right here, as I said in the previous video about a week ago, abominations and filthiness of a fornication, it speaks about having a cup, she having a cup, a golden cup, that it equates with the MOTB. Does not equate with the MOTB. The MOTB, the MOTB has everything to do with technology. As I said in the past, biometrics, bio meaning body or your body, and metrics meaning measure. So the act of you getting the charagma is considered biometrics. It has nothing to do with committing an abominable act, but it's a no-no with the Most High. It would be a sin. What does the word sin mean? If you look the word sin in the Hebrew and in the Greek, it says the same exact thing. It says to miss the mark. To miss the mark. When you say the Sabbath is Friday sundown to Saturday sundown, it is depending on when the new moon come in. If you teach it that way, guess what? You're missing the mark. You're missing the mark. So we got to tell you, we got to warn you. So now when you look up the cup in her hand full of abominations and filthiness of a fornication, the word filthiness, when you look it up, I'm not going to go into it, but I went into the word abomination. I went into the root words. I also went into filthiness. I went into the root words. I went into fornication. Fornication just simply means adultery. If Israelites are part of this church or part of the system or part of the military, they're committing adultery with the Hua. So they're not following the Most High. They turn their back on the Most High. Let me show you something. Now we talked about I have to bring this back. I'll come back to it. We talked about Uganda, how they have a penalty if you are a happy person, you're to be put to death. So they had Kamala Harris go over there, and she brought some money with her. She brought aid with her, and she was saying, "Look, everybody has the right to human rights," and they were like, "We ain't taking it." But they're going to take the technology. They're not going to take the abomination, Revelation 17, but they will take the MOTB, which has nothing to do with being abominable or filthy or even fornication. It's technology. That's why we keep doing videos on it. One thing has nothing to do with the other. So when General Nathaniel said that, and they started saying, "Ooh, they got body bag," we didn't get body bagged. However, you guys are going to get body bagged by the Most High. We got it right. We wouldn't be so bold as to constantly make videos on it if we said, you know, had a little, a lick a bit of doubt. We wouldn't teach it. We would go back, we would study it, we would have think tanks, we would brainstorm, we would go to the Hebrew, we would fast, we would pray to see if we're right. Well, guess what? We don't gotta do all those things because we see it. We see it crystal clear. And you got to keep making videos on it because your people are window shopping. But anyway, let me go into this. This is why I said what I said concerning Babylon, that Babylon is the U.S. So I'm going to let you listen to it. This is We Woke Now. And I said, you know, I saw Fall of Babylon, Revelation 18 explained. So I said, let me click on it. So I'm kind of listening, kind of jumping around a little bit. They did touch on Revelation 17, and they're here in Jeremiah 51. Read that whole chapter. Jeremiah 51 and Jeremiah 50 is talking about not ancient Babylon. It's talking about the U.S. That's what it's talking about. So let me let you listen to this. And like I said, I'm not going to make this long. You can come back. You can make response videos or whatever you're going to do. But this is one of the main subjects that we're going to get into. Oh, I was just watching a video, and I did a video on that early in the week on having sex on the Sabbath. You can't have sex on the Sabbath. So I guess the IUIC kind of made a counter to that. Anytime we make a video about something, if they teach us something different, they're going to make a counter to it. So I came across a video that the elder Yashawamba put up, and that was based upon a video that the elder Karataza had put up out of Las Vegas. So I didn't see the whole thing. I kind of watched some of it. Then I kind of moved on. I was looking at other different things. So I came across this video right here. So right about this point, so you can start at, okay, 1 hour, 23 minutes. You can start from right there. So I'm gonna let it play. I'm not gonna say a few more words, and then I'll close. And this is really open to response videos anyway. I'm not gonna go all deep into it. We done explained it. We explained it in several videos that we did through the years. Exactly Babylon, what exactly Babylon is, or the daughter of Babylon, or Babylon the Great is, mainly in Revelation. So let's listen up, and then I'm gonna close.
And go back to their homeland. See, this is why I have a problem with a lot of this flea doctrine, because people are telling Great Britain is their symbol is the lion. When you're dealing with Revelation.
Okay, so I jumped back a little bit. I'm right at 121. Exactly.
The book of Revelations is dealing with a spiritual Babylon, right? Let me say that again. Revelation chapter 18 is dealing with a spiritual Babylon. And I'm going to show you who that is.
So you know what we say, it's not spiritual, it's a physical place. It's a place that's going to be cast on fire. You know? It's the 5,000 square miles, which they call the US or America.
Woman is. We already identified who the United States is when we did our lesson dealing with, I think that was the lesson dealing with the 4 beasts. Yeah, the 4 beasts. We identified who the United States is. When you read Revelation chapter 13, verse 2, you'll see United States is actually there. But in order to understand Revelation chapter 2, you have to go to Daniel chapter 7, and then you'll understand who these beasts are. So when you see the lion, right, this beast had the lips of a lion,
Mind you, a lot of these people that are on the Hebrew Israelite tip doing videos, I can't prove it, but my belief is that they watch our videos and they kind of mix it the way they want to mix it. They remixing the scriptures. So I don't know if this individual watched our videos. They're aware of us. But like for example, the minister of wellness, very good as far as health goes, and the what is it the is what is that the G bombs, G bombs, green beans, whatever. But he goes into a lot of diet thing. But recently, maybe a year, I don't know, 2 years, he's pretty much now like a Hebrew Israelite teacher, and he wasn't saying that 4 or 5 years ago. He's calling on Yahweh and Yeshua, and he's reading scriptures now. He's going into the Apocrypha, and for the record, the people know about the Apocrypha because it was introduced to you by the men that are formerly of the One West, the GMS, IUIC, ISUPK, Sakari, which stem out of us, the HODC, the LOI, the AOC. You got many, many groups out there. GOCC, they deal with the Apocrypha because where did they get it from? They got it from the teachers of One West. So you got other people that start teaching from it, and I guarantee you they got it watching us. So remember, all these different Israelite groups came on the scene after we came on the scene on YouTube. Because we came on in 07. IUIC was on there in 06. YouTube didn't come about it came about in 2005. So in 2006, the only ones that I know of that was on had little few videos here and there was IUIC and GOCC and maybe another, but you had little clips of little, but the actual people that were putting up videos was GOCC that I remember, GOCC and IUIC. And when we got on there, that's when things blew. Notice that when we got on there, this July of 2007, that's when everything blew up. That's when everything blew up, man. That's when you had all these people coming to camps for them. People started getting in. I remember, the IUIC would put up maybe a video, might be 2 months. They put up another video, be a little 10-minute video. We were putting up, if you go back to the old days of the YouTube, you can only put up a 10-minute video, and it was blurry. It wasn't all that clear. And we would put up 35 videos, part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, part 5. And that put wings on everybody else's back. And I remember we used to go on the IUIC, their page, because I believe they had one page at that time. And people would ask questions, and we would go on their page and answer those people their questions. Because he really wasn't into the, he put it up there, but he really wasn't into it. But the Most High used us, GMS, to put wings on everybody else's back. You know what that means? Look that up. The saying, put wings on your back. Embolden people. ISUPK didn't come on until after us. So let me let you listen to some more.
Now you have to go to the beast, the first beast that's identified in Daniel chapter 7, which is the United States and Great Britain. Great Britain is their symbol is the lion. But it said the lion had eagle's wings, right? And the wings were plucked.
So you heard what he said. Let me bring that back. Like I said, you know what I'm gonna do? Let me do this. You just heard what he said, right? Let me bring that back.
to the beast, the first beast that's identified in Daniel chapter 7, which is the United States and Great Britain. Great Britain is their symbol is the lion. But it said the lion had eagle's wings, right? And the wings were plucked, right? And guess what? Think about it. The eagle, right? United States, right? But anyway, the eagle in Daniel chapter 7. Now you have to go to
Let you hear it again.
First beast that's identified in Daniel chapter 7, which is the United States and Great Britain. Great Britain is their symbol is the lion. But it said the lion had eagle's wings, right? And the wings were plucked, right? And guess what? Think about it. The eagle, right? United States, right? But anyway, the
You go to any scholar, biblical scholar that specializes in prophecy, they're going to all say that. If I went to the commentary right now, I believe every last one of them would say that. Matter of fact, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna just, you gotta, I was gonna go to Ephesians chapter 4, verse 11 on down, where it speaks about what's it saying? I'm not going to go to it, but it says what is it? I got to go to it so I can read it correctly. I don't want to botch it up. It talks about every, like children, after every wind of doctrine. Well, I just quoted. I don't got to go to it. Every wind, like children, tossed to and fro under every wind of doctrine. You know a guy that's like that, or a woman, when they ask a crazy question, you know what I mean by a off the wall question, and you click on their page, they might have set up their thing back in 2016. It might have booty shaking videos on it, hip hop videos or whatever, comedy videos. So there's no information, but they've been on YouTube since 2016, 2013. Then when you go check who they subscribe to, they'll have booty shaking video or whatever, but they'll have some IUICs, they'll have some ISUPKs, they'll have some GOCCs, they'll have some Wi-Fi's, they might have 2 or 3 GMS sites, you know, they might have like a black consciousness site. You know, they're completely confused. Because if you're going from one video to IUIC, then another video, a GMS video, then an ISUPK video, then a LOI video, then an AOC video, and a Sakari video, and a GOCC video, you're just going to be confused. So this is the first time I heard this from this individual of the page, We Woke Now, that's talking about America. He finessed it. See the Eagles? Any scholar will tell you, like I'm gonna prove it. Now you can say, oh, well, these are Edomites. They don't know what they're talking about. Well, a lot of times they do know what they're talking about. They don't understand Revelation. Don't go to Revelation 17 to the commentary, because they're going to botch it up. And they're not going to say it's America. Okay, let's go to Daniel. Bear with me for a minute. Daniel 7. Okay. Okay, let's go right to the 4th verse. Okay, here we go. Let's see what the Cambridge says, because normally, they're pretty confident. They're pretty long. Let's see what they say. Okay, it says the vulture, the griffin, vulture, a great vulture, mystical bird, most abundant and never out of sight. Okay, were plucked. Let me come down here. The first beast was like a lion, which with the wings of the griffin. It now I believe that's the Wheel of Fortune, that game show. I believe the production is called I forget what it was called, but it showed you an actual griffin. It had Griffin in the name of the production company. I remember that. It combined, consequently, the characteristics of the noblest of the quadrupeds, 4 legs, which is a lion, and of one of the most majestic of birds, the indomitable strength of the lion and the power of the vulture, which is the eagle, to soar securely on high to descry its prey from afar. I'm trying to get to the point here. Okay, Nebuchadnezzar, Babylonian Empire, which is started as the Assyrians, but I'm looking for Assyrians because Nebuchadnezzar was an Assyrian. So he says Nebuchadnezzar. Here it is again. The first was like a lion, the Chaldean or Babylonian Empire, compared to the head of gold, the chief of metals, in the image represented to Nebuchadnezzar, which is the king of Babylon. I beheld till the wings thereof were plucked or torn off. Then it goes into the Medes and the Persians. It's just not going to, none of these commentaries going to say America. Not one of them is going to say America. There goes Nebuchadnezzar again, the Babylonian Empire. That's what it's talking about. The lion, which is the griffin, represents the Assyrians. The lion standing up represents the Babylonians, which happen to be their nationality are also the Assyrians. So it's the same lion standing up. And then the beast that came after that represent the Medo-Persian Empire. And I know this because I'm always going through this. So it's, it's like first nature, not second nature, first nature. And this you can say is going back to the basics. So you heard what he said. Let's listen to it one more time. Let's bring it back. I think this is far enough.
And dealing with, I think that was the lesson dealing with the 4 beasts. Yeah, the 4 beasts. We identified who the United States is. When you read Revelation chapter 13, verse 2, you'll see in United States is actually there. But in order to understand Revelation chapter 2, you have to go to Daniel chapter 7, and then you'll understand who these beasts are. So when you see the lion, right, this beast had the lips of a lion. Now you,
like I said, any scholar, Christian scholar, biblical scholar will tell you the lion with eagle's wings is talking about the Babylonian, the Syrians standing up on his feet with head, with the wings. They're talking about the Babylonian Empire. Then after that, the Medo-Persian Empire.
You have to go to the beast, the first beast that's identified in Daniel chapter 7, which is the United States and Great Britain. Great Britain is their symbol is the lion, but it said the lion had eagles.
So, who is the bear? And for that matter, who is the leopard? And for that matter, who is the beast diverse from all the rest? That means the bear would have to come after America, and then well, you got the bear, then you got then you got the leopard, which is the goat in Daniel chapter 8. It's not talking about America. It's not no scholar would agree with that at all. And we don't agree with that. So you need to go back and do some more study. Do some more study, because that clearly is not talking about America. That's talking about the Neo-Babylon Empire around about 600 years before the birth of our Lord. That's what it's talking about. So you can't equate that lion with the beast in Revelation 13.
Wings, right? And the wings were plucked, right? And guess what? Think about it. The eagle, right? United States, right? But anyway, the wings were plucked, and it said that it was made to stand, right? Take on the form of the image of a man, and a heart was given
That was Nebuchadnezzar.
to it. That's Uncle Sam, family. That's dealing with the Revolutionary War. Come on, family. Come on, baby.
The Revolutionary War. I told y'all, if y'all get caught up following one of these groups and they tell you to do something funny style and you get caught up on it, don't come running at us, man. We gave you the truth. And then it says in Matthew 24, if it were possible, they would deceive the very elect. Now, if you're part of the elect, the Most High is going to filter you right to the truth. It will filter you right to GMS. Don't be surprised if IUIC members start leaving and trying to get with GMS, especially when they set up them chipping stations. Oh, that's when these camps are going to get shook up. That's when it's going to get real out here.
Come on, family. It's pretty simple, right? It's very simple. It's very simple. It's very simple. So we're gonna break this down even more. We're gonna break this down even more. So in Jeremiah 51 is dealing with Israel, physical, the Israelites who still had their territory, the Judah still had their territory. They are in physical Babylon, and the Most High is telling them to flee Babylon. And
it also says Jeremiah 49, Jeremiah 50, and Jeremiah 51, they're to continue in thought. Jeremiah 49, 50, and 51 could have been one large book. You read Jeremiah 50, then the thought takes you to Jeremiah 51. So it's either in Jeremiah 50 or Jeremiah 51, it says Judah and Israel shall be oppressed together. He just said that was the Babylonian Empire. The Northern Kingdom wasn't the Babylonian Empire. It was all the way on the other side of the world in the Americas. Remember, they were taken down by the Assyrians about 120 years before the Babylonians took down the kingdom of Judah. So they got to be together. They got to be together. They got to be oppressed together. So we know that that's not talking about Neo-Babylon, because the Northern Kingdom was not here.
And go back to their homeland. Let me say that again. Telling them to flee Babylon and go back to their homeland. See, this is why I have a problem with a lot of this flee doctrine, because people are telling people,
we don't teach the flee doctrine. The flee doctrine was taught by the head of GOCC, and he reneged on that. He came back to his senses, but he messed up a lot of people, which he's going to have to pay for. He had a lot of people go over there to Egypt and leave the country, and they were stranded out there. And they didn't come back and say, okay, let me go back to the GOCC. They got disenchanted with Israel altogether. I'm not joining any of them. They're all a bunch of cults. You see? So we know the Lord ain't dealing with the GOCC, period.
To leave and go to places to suffer. The Most High is not having us go to a place.
When it says flee, the fulfillment of that Revelation 18:4, when it speaks about come up out of, that means the angel's going to come, the Lord's going to come down, and you're going to hear that seventh trumpet, and we're going to be beamed up. So in the Hebrew, an angel's going to say, "Come up hither," and the elect of Israel will be beamed up before the missiles hit this place.
He's upholding. The Most High have a calculated place that He's going to take us back to. Even when Israel went through the wilderness experience, guess what? The goal was bringing them back to where? Jerusalem. We want to touch on that. Let's break this down. I don't want to do too much talking. We have doing good here. Jeremiah 51, verse 6, right? Flee out of the midst of Babylon.
That's talking about America. And how we're going to flee out? We're going to flee out because we're going to be beamed up in the ships. I don't know if this gentleman teaches about the UFOs, what his thoughts are on all these UFO sightings, and whether he believes that they're the chariots or the angels of the Most High or the chariots of Israel. I don't know. I don't know if they deal with the Apocrypha. I don't know if they're familiar with Second Ezra's chapter 13. We got it, y'all. We got it. GMS got it. 100% truth.
Deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity. For this is the...
Be not cut off in her iniquity. Revelation 18, just like Revelation 18:4. Be not, that ye be not partakers of her sin, that ye be not be cut off for her iniquity. Iniquity is sin.
Time of Yahweh's vengeance. He will render...
Now you notice he says Yahweh. The only group that pronounces the name of the Most High as Yahweh is one Westers. Everybody else says Yahweh and Yeshua. So I believe that he followed some of our videos. When I say our video, I say the former one Westers. All right.
Unto her a recompense, excuse me. Babylon has been a golden cup in Yahweh's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine. Therefore, the nations are
mad at who? Mad at who? The U.S. The West, as they call it. The 10 horns, which is the EU, the NATO nations, the EU nations, they're going to shoot missiles on the woman. The woman is Babylon.
Nah. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How?
The destruction, the fire, the fire on America. America is going to be engulfed in flames. It's going to look like the lake of fire.
For her, take balm for her pain. If so, she be healed. May be healed, excuse me. If so be she may be healed. Right? So if so be she may be healed. All right. But
they're trying to heal this place now. Shit is crumbling, bro. Shit is crumbling. Isaiah 14. You can read the whole chapter, but Isaiah 14:9, it speaks about the corrosion, the worm, corruption.
But again, let me make this clear. Family, daughter of Babylon is not the United States. It's not the Roman Catholic Church. It's no institution.
The daughter of Babylon is America. The daughter of Babylon is the United States. The daughter of Babylon is this place that we're on. There are 5,000 square miles. This is Babylon the Great. This is the mother of harlots and the abomination of the earth.
Explain to you exactly what it is. The daughter of Babylon is the local people that was living in Babylon that Israel was supposed to separate from. So I'm making it clear. I'm giving you clarity.
You know, like I said, if you're not, if it's possible, the very elect will be deceived. So if you follow this individual, or you follow any of these other guys that teach these wayward doctrines, and you get caught up there, don't blame us. It's them Israelites, they messed my life. Nope, it's the particular group that you was in that the Most High was not dealing with. Anyway, with that, I'm gonna say shalom. On to the next one.